Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Jeffrey, and today we're going to be taking a look at the game between West Ham and Arsenal. First things first, it took me a while to make this video because of how heartbroken I am. Okay, let's just get into it. So West Ham went into that game with an expected expected goals that is, of 1.81, and Arsenal went into that game with an expected goal of 2.75. Needless to say that West Ham overperformed and Arsenal underperformed based on the SG. It's beginning to look like a trend when we go up by 2-0 and then we seem to just relax. I don't know what's going on. It doesn't have something to do with the tactics, or it's just the way the guys play. I don't know, but that's something that Mikel Arteta would need to address if we want to have any hope of winning the league. And I think one thing that is worth mentioning is the fact that we have, been giving away penalties, in the last two games. And I think that's something that Mikel Arteta would need to address, because for a team that really wants to compete and win the title, we cannot be, giving away penalties to oppositions like that. And I know that a lot of people might argue that the tackle by Gabriel doesn't warrant the penalty, but experienced player can make the most of it. So Arteta will need to, look into that as well. We started the game very strong, like we always do. Ben White coming in with the assist for Gabriel Jesus, who, by the way, has 4 goals in 3 games now, and Martinelli assisting with this second goal that Martin Odegaard was able to, put in the back of the net in the 10th minute. You see Partey giving away the ball very easily, which led to the penalty, and we struggled from there. And also, I wanted to go into the details about Arteta's in-game management, and we've seen Exhibit A was the game against Liverpool, and now against West Ham, we've seen that some of the substitution he makes are very questionable. I think that's something that I'm not a manager by no means, but one can just see that some of the substitution doesn't really make sense. He knows the player better than anybody else out there does, any of the pundits out there does. But Aka should have been taken off instead of Martinelli, and Gabriel Jesus should still remain in that game. That's how I feel. I could be wrong, but you guys let me know in the comment section. And this is why having squad rotation really matters a lot. You see the likes of Guardiola. One of the things I really love about him is how he manages player. You see, for example, Fodi might have a good game this week, scoring 2 goals, but in the next game, really she's playing. And I think that is something that's very important, because you don't want to have a situation where one of your starters is having a bad game or having an injury, and then you have to bring in somebody who hasn't played for months to come fill in that gap. You don't expect that level of performance to be the same. So I think Mikel Arteta needs to address that issue with the players and the team in general. Yeah. Now moving on to the player rating, I think I agree with SofaScore with this rating. Ramsdale with a 6.3. I think he had a bad day in the office. I think he could have particularly done more, especially for that second goal. He got a hand to it, but he just needed a stronger hand to that ball to save it. Moving on to the right back position, we have Ben White. I think Ben White had a good game, a decent game at least, with it coming in with the assist for our first goal. Now going to Rob Holding. A lot of criticism for him online, but honestly, it's Rob Holding. What else do you expect? He's a squad player, so we definitely need to upgrade on him if we have any intention of competing for multiple competitions. So Gabriel Magalhaes 7.2 had a very good game, except for the first goal where he gave away a penalty. Something that needs to be addressed by Mikel Arteta. Kieran Tierney, 6.6, had a big shoe to fill, covering in for Zinchenko, but he made a very important tackle on Gerard Bowen. I think that ball honestly could have gone in, but very important tackle for me in that game. So he came in and did enough job. What else do you expect from a guy that doesn't play every week? Moving on to Martin Odegaard, who was the man of the match, coming in with the second goal, 7.8. I think he had a decent day in the office, but it could have been better. Thomas Partey was a 6.1. By far was the poorest guy on the pitch today, which is unlike him, but I know that Partey is going to bounce back from this. Granit Xhaka 7.0, didn't really had a decent game, didn't really do much, and there was nothing really outstanding about his game today. So 7.0 is fair enough. Talking about Bukayo Saka, got a 6.2. The penalty miss was a big aspect to this. I believe you should be hitting the target no matter what. That's the first rule of a penalty. Make sure you hit the target. But I think that, like always, he's gonna bounce back. I think he's a decent lad. He just had a bad game. Moving on to Gabriel Martinelli, coming in with the second assist to Odegaard. I think he had a decent game. Now moving on to Gabriel Jesus, who is one of our better performers in the day, 7.1. Coming in with the first goal. He seemed to be in a scoring form now, like I mentioned before, having 4 goals in 3 games now. Now overall, I think we have a good team, and I think that there will definitely be improvements from these players, even from the manager, because like I mentioned before, Mikel Arteta needs to improve on his in-game management, because it's cost us the game between Liverpool and cost us this game against West Ham. So I think that that's something that Mikel Arteta needs to improve on, and need to address the fact that teams will now feel like they can always come back against Arsenal. If you're leading 2-0, you should be able to manage the game if you can't score anymore, and just get the 3-point out of the way. That's what champions do. So thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think. Do you think this is the end of the road for Arsenal for the title challenge? Do you think Man City is going to catch up? And let me know what you think about what's going to be the outcome of the game between Manchester City and Arsenal. And I think that's going to be a big decider on who's going to be champion. See you on the next one. Bye.